I'm scrolling through YouTube.
Oh,
Shout out to Pink Book Lessons. She be doing her thing. So I see a story that she's covering, and I'm like, oh man, this is wild. But it's a young lady who, whatever's going on in the relationship, she ended up killing her children. How about I let the news people tell the story instead of me trying to tell the story? I'm going to share this, and I'm going to let the news people tell the story. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you asked me, but I'm going to let the news people do it. Why? Because the news people, dog, that's what they do, dog. So
sadness and hurt with the loss of yet another young child in New Orleans. Someone left a stuffed animal and balloons on the stairs in front of a home in the 3100 block of Law Street. According to the NOPD, a woman was arrested here on Sunday for allegedly stabbing her two children, a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. The young girl did not survive that attack, and the children's father reportedly hurried to that scene after seeing a disturbing social media post by the mother, 31-year-old Janee Pedescleaux. She said in a blood-stained shirt, quote, "My children are dead. I'm done. I'm done with life." The father, Jermaine Rogers, had to break through a front window to get the kids and rush them to the hospital. Reverend Janee Arvey is the pastor of the Law Street Missionary Baptist Church just down the street from the mother's home.
It hurts. It's sad. You know, I feel for the children, the father, and even the mother. I really feel bad for her.
The 2-year-old boy is still alive tonight, and he is still in the hospital with serious injuries. Tonight, Erica Ferrando is following the story. It's just a heartbreaking one, and she's joining us live on Law Street, where police say that attack happened. Erica, what's the latest?
That's right, Katie. The stabbings happened in the house behind me, and you can see those balloons and stuffed animals still sitting outside the front door. But according to court records, the father of those two children expressed concern for their safety months ago.
A devastated uncle shared these photos of his beloved 2-year-old nephew, Jason, and his 4-year-old niece, Paris. This old photo is one he now treasures more than ever, as Paris died after the siblings' mother allegedly stabbed them. A makeshift memorial now sits outside the Law Street home where it happened around 11 Sunday morning. While Paris died at the hospital, Jason was taken to a hospital in critical condition and is recovering. NOPD arrested the children's mother, 31-year-old Janee Pedescleaux, for the crime. Moments after the stabbing, a woman that appears to be Pedescleaux shared a video on Instagram with blood dripping down her chest. We're not sharing the graphic video, but in it you can hear the woman say, "My children is dead. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault." According to court records, Jermaine Roberts is the kid's father, and in April he filed a petition seeking sole custody of the two kids that would have allowed the mother weekend visitation rights. He claimed Pedescleaux didn't let him see the children since he was in a relationship. He said in the petition, quote, "She's not stable or providing a healthy environment for the kids." He added, "The mother takes non-prescription pills. She drinks and drives under the influence." Pedescleaux was set to appear in court for the custody battle in 10 days. Court records for Janee Pedescleaux show a criminal history, including several arrests just over a decade ago for attempted simple robbery, drug charges, including using a fake prescription to get drugs, aggravated assault, and last year she faced criminal damage to property charges. And now for allegedly stabbing her children, killing one, Pedescleaux faces charges of second-degree murder, attempted murder, and second-degree cruelty to a juvenile. A tragedy the children's uncle says he wishes he could have saved them from.
that's a lot.
yeah.
That's a lot. And I have so many questions.
Yeah.
But it's sad, it's tragic. It's not nothing to make fun about. So we're not here to make fun or anything, but we do want to kind of get some understanding and trying to just ask some questions to get to a common ground of understanding. Wow, I don't know where to start, but I guess we'll start with the Reverend. Let's go ahead and get him out the way. Let's go ahead and get the Reverend out the way.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the mother Especially the mother. Yes, even the mother. So I'm guessing he knew her because she lived next door to the church or whatever. Um, but that just seems like a really
Politically,
insensitive thing to
yeah,
say.
yeah, insensitive, trying to be politically correct.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I
But
get the politically correct angle. I was looking for another word. I couldn't
but
find one.
but we could go with insensitive and couple that with politically correct. Because especially with all of the information that we have,
Mm-hmm.
I would have more. I would feel more for the young girl who lost her life, the young boy, and the father.
Did he even mention the father? I don't even think
He
I
did.
heard
He
him.
said
He
he
did.
mentioned the father. He did mention the
Okay.
father, but he did go especially with the mother, and there's empathy for her, but
I don't have none. Bro, I
well,
don't.
not it there. Well, let me restate that. There's empathy for her out in the world.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
me, but I'm
okay,
just saying
okay.
that
I
there's
get you.
empathy.
I
There's
get you.
empathy for her. But so my issue in situations like this is the man's feelings are always pushed to the side or looked over or downgraded, especially in this situation because and I got questions for the father, but especially in this situation because he already expressed to the proper officials that he didn't feel like his children were safe with this woman. And she already had a history of violent crimes, or not just violent crime. Let me restate that she has a criminal history. I'll say that she has a criminal history, and he already expressed not feeling that that's the best place for his children to be. So people were aware of her issues, or she had issues in the past, but it seems as if she was given other chances. And I'm just going to assume here she might have been given other chances, or people just kind of overlooked it, the lack of accountability of things from not necessarily from her, but from the proper people to properly look into it. Um, she wasn't allowing him to see the children because he had a new girlfriend. So it was a whole lot of things going on, and the tragic ending. But it's just like we got to give that same care to men that we give to women. We got to start doing that because this guy seems like somebody who was a caring father who wanted to ensure the safety of his children. So we got to focus on him. As, you know.
Yeah, when you say that, it makes me think about it makes me think about when I was going through what I was going through as a single father and how many hoops I had to jump through because I was a man with custody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me to divorce that or to not insert my experiences into this situation and say, exactly what you just said. He probably had to jump through all of these hoops with people not caring and people thinking he was just some jaded father trying to ruin the mother of his kid's life and this, that, and the third. Um, so I'm thinking about all of that. The pastor messed me up. He really did. Like I was processing the story all well and good. And then it's like, why even say that? Like, why is that statement even necessary? But that's neither here nor
That's
there.
what they do, though. That's what a lot of pastors do. It's kind of that slant to the female population.
But it's to me it goes to all right, so we got two separate discussions here. We got one where far too frequently now, parents, mothers and fathers, are killing their kids.
Yeah.
Because I believe it
Yeah.
was earlier today or yesterday. No, this would be a few days ago now, but there was a dad that killed his three kids. That's happening far too frequently. So that's one issue, is parents killing their kids. The other issue is the issue that's related to this, which is the extraordinarily difficult time fathers seem to have getting people to look into
Yes.
situations involving the mother of their kids and the kids, especially when she has custody.
Fathers are overlooked, their voice is diminished, and like you say, you got to fight tooth and nail to, because I've just heard the story from too many fathers fighting for their children, specifically Black fathers fighting for their children. They have to jump through hoops. If the mother doesn't want him to see the child, he has to eat that. He has to fight, and he has to eat that, because like he was saying, like the guy in this was saying, he had a new girlfriend and she didn't like that, according to him. So you can't see your children. And on top of you not being able to see your children, the environment, according to him, the environment that your children is in, and clearly the environment is not safe for them.
Yeah, and that's something that, and like I said, these are two separate issues. But that second one is something that really hits home for me. Just even on a not even talking about any sort of issues that the ex or the woman might have, because in my situation, my kid's mother, like she didn't create any issues for me in the legal system or with anything like that. These were issues that I just had because I was a male with his kids.
Right.
Like, she didn't do anything. So like that's something that for that's something that men gotta understand. Even if you do get a woman that don't bring baby mama drama with her, you're still gonna have some issues with the system if you split from her and you keep the kids. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
But I'm wondering how these two people linked up.
That's a third dynamic right there. Like, she had to show signs of being unstable,
some kind of volatile behavior in the past, but babies were made out of this. 2 young babies, and because these babies are young.
Yeah.
So
well, is it 2 and 4?
Yeah. So within the past 4, let's say 4 to 6 years. Let's just give them that 4 to 6 years. How did this happen? How did you all get together? How did the relationship? What was the quality of the relationship? What led to you all making babies, and what led to you all breaking up? Those questions got to be asked, because it seems like he made babies with a woman who he might have already knew or found out, because he maybe not have done his proper research to find out how stable she was.
Look, man, when these girls tell you they crazy, believe them. Like, don't take that as she being cute. Like, believe her. And it's the same thing with the young ladies. If a dude tell you he don't give a fuck,
they don't
believe him. Like, stop thinking that that's people being cute or trying to be. Not, motherfucker tell me they crazy.
Yeah, I just wish more could have been done to keep the kids safe. More should have been looked into. Like, how much harder does a man have to fight for his children?
That's a legal, that's a systemic society.
Right. But
there's no desire to fix that, though.
Right. There's no desire to, and I guess one of the things that make me mad about that is there's no desire to fix that from a good number of men. Because we men in America, if we want to get some stuff done, we can get some stuff done. If all the men in America decide to get together and get some stuff done, we can get some stuff done. Let's just be real. But men aren't stepping up to the plate to fight for what we need en masse. We have a loud minority, but that loud minority isn't enough to really get things done in our favor to kind of even the playing field, especially when it comes to custody court and it comes to marriage and all these different things. Like we're at a disadvantage if things go wrong. Clearly.
Men have bought into the narrative of masculinity and manhood. And that's part of the problem. When you ask men, who does a child need more, a mother or father?
They gonna immediately say the mama.
Most people in America say the mother.
The answer is both.
Right.
BOAF. Both. Like Shannon Sharp said.
Right. But that's part of the problem. When you start talking about who's better able to care for, nurture, provide, and all of these things for children, the idea is women. That's a woman's role. That's what women do. The first teacher of a child is a woman. You hear all of these things, and then I'm the weird guy in the room when you're in these manosphere conversations, and you say, well, why don't we as men become the first teachers of our children? That's not a role that women have to have. You can instruct your child.
Well, I think because most people, they're in a mindset of the mother has to nurse, so the mother will be there with the child. But that doesn't mean that it can't be a joint effort. Yes, the baby going to spend a little more. And I think people taking that a little too literal. Yes, the mother is going to spend more time with the baby because she has to nurse. But that doesn't mean you can't be there simultaneously, making sure that you inject some education and some structure, some things that's in there. You can, while the baby is nursing, you can read a book. Y'all can have intelligent conversations. You can talk to the baby. The baby not going to be nursing all day. The baby not going to be asleep all day. There are things that the father can do from the beginning to make sure that he's instructing the child.
I don't even give him the nursing excuse because most Black people in America aren't breastfeeding. So if your baby on formula, then nursing, and even if your baby is nursing, they got these wonderful machines that suck milk right out of the titty and put it in a bottle for you. I'll put it in the bag so you can put it in a bottle later. There's no excuse in these modern times for a man. Now, I understand if a man just fall back for whatever, like I get that. But to make an excuse out of it, to say, well, I have to take a step back because she's a woman and blah, 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 blah. So you let foul shit happen because you got to take a step back. That we're not doing that.
Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. Men can't. It's not smart to suffer in silence for men. It's not smart. Not saying this man did it, but his voice was clearly muted. But the idea from a lot of men is you got to suffer in silence. Just shut up and take it. Nah, we ain't doing that. Yeah. We're not doing that. But it's so like, dang, it's tragic like this happened. And then she goes on social media, with the blood on it and saying that she's killed the children.
And it's all Buddy's fault.
So that's another one of my questions. Well, what does that mean? It's his fault. Exactly. Yeah. I know she the only one can answer that, but that's the question. What does that mean? It's his fault. Why is it his fault? What did he do to contribute to the death of his children? Like literally, not feelings wise, but literally, what did he literally do?
I want to know what the community response was as well. Because like if he saw it and immediately rushed over there and got his kids.
There's a lot of other people saw it too.
Right. How many other people saw it and what did they do?
But that's the tragic ending, and that's what it took to get attention to what was going on with the children. It took the young girl being murdered and the young boy almost being murdered, hanging on to his life right now, to get attention to what this man been saying. That's crazy. Like when these people talk about we need men's right advocates, we do. We need men right advocates. We need to change We got to change the narrative for ourselves. We got to control the narrative. We got to write the narrative for ourselves. Men, hey man, we can't just sit back and allow stuff to happen, just be silent, being afraid, being counseled and all these things. Hey, man, drop your nuts, man. Drop your nuts, right? Because there could have been things that happened that been put in place to help this man to be able to keep these children alive, keep these children safe. And it wasn't. The ball was dropped in that regards.
Yeah, and like I said, the fact that she could go on TV, on social media, and blame him for her killing her kids, it's his fault.
Right.
And the assumption is he was getting ready, or he had been awarded custody. And then I got another issue. She was only charged with murder 2. She should have been charged with murder 1.
Yeah.
Like I don't, cause murder 2 is, you commit an act in rage or in an emotional state, and murder 1 is you pre-planned it.
Yeah. So yeah. Second degree murder, attempted murder, second degree cruelty to a juvenile is what they're giving her.
I don't agree with that. She should get murder 1 for the harsher sentence, and that comes with it. And I feel that way about anybody that kill, especially if you kill your kids.
Because I don't. It's hard to believe that was her. That just happened just out of a rage. I believe the rage caused it, but I believe those thoughts were probably there.
Absolutely.
Previously.
Absolutely. This is what I believe. So I'm purely speaking on speculation because I don't know. But I find it hard to believe that you would just snap and kill your kids out of the blue, never having thought about it before.
It's a build-up. It's a build-up. It's a build-up, and it's another speculation. It could have happened because she wanted to hurt him. Going back to her saying it's his fault. What? Because he moved on. He has another woman. So that could have been it. So that's something that thought was put in as well.
Man, but these even if that's the case, then that goes back to, look, man, you got to make better decisions. How are y'all allowing these people that become your future crazy ex to be your present?
Well, I'm not sure how much vetting is going on. How much they're talking to each other, having real conversations, paying attention to each other's actions, because it goes beyond the conversations, because it goes into what you do and how you treat the person, how you relate to the person. How do you all relate when you're mad at each other? Is a healthy relationship, is that even on the table? Like a lot of stuff got to be asked when you vetting somebody to see if you're gonna be with them. Because let's just be real, a lot of times folks ain't out here vetting, they're just out here messing with people because they meet certain superficial qualifications, and then they jump in the sack and be having sex and be making these babies.
No standards, no intentions, no nothing. Look, I'm man, every young man, every young person, man or woman, because it's not just the boys. But every young person I'm talking to now, look, man, be intentional, and
right.
If you see a single red flag, that's it. It's a red flag for a reason.
Yeah. Stop. Do not pass go.
And you ain't meant to be with everybody you talk to. Some people just passing through. Let them pass.
Just because she look good, I mean you got to have her.
Right.
And vice versa.
And so, and that goes back to like you were saying the other day though with dudes, dick discipline, dick control. That's something exclusively for dudes because women have pussy control.
But dudes, not. Yeah, I often say not these days, but things have changed. They have changed.
Most of them have pussy power, but there are a few that don't.
But it's just you have to put more thought into who you choose to be with, who you choose to lay down with, and who you choose to have unprotected sex with and don't pull out with. You ain't thinking about that. You ain't think about the quality of the woman that you making a baby with. Because if you're not thinking about that, you setting yourself up for failure. What's the quality of the woman that you want to stick your raw penis in and not pull out? The question should be realistic. Realistically, can this woman realistically, simultaneously with me, raise competent, productive citizens, healthy citizens, emotionally, psychologically, physically, all the clees you need? Can she help me raise this competent person? Is she competent enough to do that? Do she? Because one thing I look for is discipline in women. That's one thing, and that's so a couple things why I want my woman to be working out, to be exercising. For one, it's gonna keep up three things. For one, it's gonna keep you healthy. Two, I know you have discipline. You can discipline yourself to doing something. And three, you're gonna look good. But I need a woman with discipline, because those traits probably gonna be passed down to my children, especially if we have a girl, because she gonna be the one teaching her how to be a woman. If she ain't got no discipline, shit, my daughter ain't gonna have no discipline. Yeah. I mean, I saw a post, TikTok, Instagram, I don't know. It was 3 generations of women. Let's say the grandmother was about 45, the mother was in her early 30s, and the daughter was in her late teens, early 20s. Maybe 19, 18, 17. So it's that's at least 2 generations of young teen mothers.
I've been seeing a lot of those. It's kind of off subject, but you made me think about it on the social medias. When I do visit them, you see a lot of those 3 generations, 4 generations, and all this other stuff. And people be like, yeah, my grandma still look good. And I'd be like, well, your grandma's 43.
She shouldn't be a grandma.
But they be bragging about it. Like, we 4 generations deep. Great grandma 56, grandma is 43, and you just going, you like, what?
Hey,
it ain't like she 90.
Folk we went to school with our grandparents.
I know, that's crazy. I mean, look, I be 100% honest. My oldest is 18.
Yeah,
he ain't got no kids.
Right.
But I do have a legal adult with another one, 17, right up under him. So, but again, even with them, it's all right. So we got 18, 17, and neither one of them got no kids, and neither one of them got no chick pregnant. They already passed me up. So now let's keep it going.
Right. Let's not make, but for men, let's not make babies until we are in a stable position to provide what our children need, to provide the resources that they need and more. And also, too, let's make babies in family structures. I'm going to say it again. Let's make babies in family structures. And 3, let's make babies in healthy relationships with healthy women.
Word.
I'm just saying.